I made a shocking discovery today when I was hanging out over at MEUK's Discord server.
Are we gonna keep on fighting? Are we gonna keep on dividing? Are we gonna keep on fighting? Are we gonna keep on dividing? Well, are we gonna keep on fighting? Are we gonna keep on dividing? Are we gonna keep on fighting? Are we gonna keep on dividing? Well, did you hear what I said? It's all about
the auto
level. I can explain the auto level specs to you. I'm not going to argue with anyone. I'm not here to argue. I'm just here to give you some information. And
so you just want to declare?
People start talking over me. I'm going to leave.
Hold on.
Then, George.
But George, nobody asked you to be here, George.
Hold on.
All right, Ranty did.
Wait, please don't interrupt him. Let him come in and tell us what he needs to tell us about these auto levels. I want to hear this. And I think it's important.
Yeah, I'd like to too.
The best thing to do, Ranty, is server mute.
No,
he's going to model.
I'm sure. No. People are going to. People will respect.
Well, they aren't. They're going to overtalk.
They're going to respect it.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Here's the rule. I get overtalked twice.
They'll just get on with it. They'll just get on with it.
All right. I'm going to explain, but if I get overtalked twice, I'm going to exit.
Shove it up your hole, you fucking wanker.
See you later, George.
Peace out, George. Nobody wants to hear you. You're literally not wanted, but you're just shoving yourself in here. Yeah, goodbye. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say except you.
Okay, goodbye.
So, see you later, George.
I kind of wanted to hear it, you know?
I kind of wanted to hear it.
Well, we know what he's going to say. Go to Wikipedia. Google what Wikipedia says about an auto level. That's what he's going to say.
We can hang them
and he
with
won't debate it. But he's not going to debate it. He said, I'm not here to discuss it. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you. And that's
it. If you egged him on after he said what he wanted to say, you probably could egg him into it.
Yeah, Paige has a good point, though. You gotta let them hang themselves with their own words.
He said, I'm not here to debate. So he's coming in, he's like, look, I can say something so ridiculous, and I'm not going to be held accountable for it. I'm just going to say, the auto level does this, the auto level does that.
But then we'll know, won't we?
The ball, and then that's it.
We'll know what he wants to rubbish.
As long as he's not gonna monologue for 5-10 minutes, I'm fine listening to him 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I know. I mean,
George,
that's a problem,
it takes him
right?
5 minutes to tell you what his name is.
Okay, Ranty, Ranty, okay, I'll explain. I'll let Right the Hand over talk to me if he wants. I've got him down to 0, so I can't. Anyone that starts over
I was going to say that, George, if you want, put him on mute.
I'm going to turn Page down to 0 too, so I don't have to listen. Okay, just a minute. Okay, I've got Page and Right the Hand turned down to 0.
George down. That makes his presentation better.
Okay, now, Ranty, an auto level sole purpose in life is to set horizontal tangents. That's it. It can very crudely measure horizontal angles because its base that you turn it on is graduated in 1 degree marks, but it's not real accurate. And you cannot measure vertical angle with a auto level. It just rotates around on its base. You cannot tip its scope to measure vertical angles. Now you can sort of measure distances with it because it has an upper and lower stadia on the vertical graticule that's sent to when you're looking out at a pole marked at 1 foot increments. It will give you distances. They're calibrated to read distance in hundreds of feet when you're looking out at a pole, but that's not its purpose in life. Now, this whole idea of what do we mean by a double run? If you look at a spec for an auto level, you'll read it saying something like a good auto level might be plus minus a half a millimeter on a 1 kilometer double run. Well, what does that mean? Well, Bev kind of had it close, but all the others had it wrong, but Bev was kind of the closest. Double run 1 kilometer does not mean that you shoot out a kilometer, move your auto level out a kilometer, shoot back, and you'll be within a half a millimeter. That is not what it means, because you would never, ever get within half a millimeter if you did that because of the curvature of the Earth. Double run spec implies that you are making many short distance runs to a over a kilometer where you close the loop, there are different classes of specs. There's a class 3, there's a class 2, and a class 1. These are all very specified by the Geodetic Surveying Council. And you try to do this double run spec on 1 kilometer, you are assuming that you have to take probably 10 setups over that kilometer in order to close that loop. Some of your measurements might be a little high, some might be a little low. As you go over that kilometer to come back with several setups, those errors statistically cancel one another. They don't completely cancel, but statistically, some will read high, some will read low. They'll sort of cancel, and you can get this 0.5 millimeter closure when what you do is you start out with your auto level, you sight a pole, now you go out typically maybe 100, couple hundred feet, reset up your auto level, shoot forward to another pole, move it forward another 100, 200 feet, shoot another pole, and then you come back around so that in a kilometer after, say, maybe having 10, 15 of these setups, you sight pole that you started with, and you're guaranteed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We should have given him a time limit.
Yeah, this is getting boring.
Yeah, we should have given him a time limit.
Okay, so because I pretty much said that too. I said if you set it up at like 105 meters, because it's a range of 105. So I said if you put it out to 100 meters and you do it up to a kilometer and then you come back again, it'll be within a millimeter.
Yeah.
So I think Bev said that too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Bev said that.
We were pretty accurate with that.
There's just one problem.
And he said about the
you would never
millimeters
do a
evening
shot
out.
out to a kilometer and then move your auto level and shoot back, because you'll never.
That's
ever
not
hit
what he
target.
said he was going to
Let
do.
me ask you, if you paint a line on top of across all those points,
Go ahead, Aaron.
are you gonna get a flat, level line?
Hello, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm here, Ranty. I was letting the other man go. George, there's one problem with that. So we all know what a stop sign is, right? An octagon. If you lay it flat on the ground, it's got 8 sides, right? So let's take a decagon, right? So George, in that decagon, laying flat on the ground, and let's say each side of that decagon is 100 meters, 300 feet. So, I shoot out, establish a benchmark, a mark. I set up my level, shoot out, and go around 10 times, which would be a kilometer, and I come back to my original bench. Yep. I would be within a millimeter. Now, what Negator is saying is that every time I walk that 100 meters out on that first leg, I'm actually going over a curve. I'm going down.
That's right.
And then
That's why you have.
I'm going down.
Okay, I know where you're headed with this. You would never do 100
how
meters.
do I come back up to my original bench?
But I'm saying the reason why you come back up is you don't shoot generally on those sides of the dodecagon, whatever you have, can't be more than about 100 feet. Otherwise, the curvature of the earth will swamp out what you're trying to measure. You will have a different tangent line. That's why these have to be done in short spurts, like 50 to 100 feet. You would never go out 100 meters.
The instrument accuracy that Gleam provided was 100 meters, 105. So why couldn't
that's not how you do a double run 1 kilometer. It's very specifically stated.
100 meters times 10 is what?
Yes, but you would not do that. You can't do it at 100 meters. You can't do the double run spec. You can't verify your 1 kilometer double run spec.
But the instrument
jumps
says you can.
Of 100.
Yeah, why is the instrument saying that it's
cannot
accurate
do
then?
your 1 kilometer double run spec. You cannot verify it by taking steps of 100 meters.
But that's what you just said.
Oh, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You did.
No,
That's exactly what you said, Judge.
About 100 feet, 100, 200 feet, not 100 meters. 100 meters will start invalidating. It's getting.
What do you mean? 100 meters is what? That's how far we can see to a millimeter, right, George?
What?
Yeah.
It's a football field,
I am 100 meters. I've checked it, George.
So if the equipment says that it's capable of getting these accuracies, and obviously the new tools come on the market all the time, and this one says it's accurate to 105 meters. Why shouldn't we believe the manufacturers that tell us that is accurate? I mean, surely they've done this kind of testing themselves.
Yes, they do, but I'm just explaining what the test is.
It's just the scope, Ranty.
What the test is. All you have to do is go look up. Go look up what the official. We'll look up what the official definitions are of double run tests. So they will show you, they will tell you that you have to do it over lengths of no more than about 100 feet.
Right, okay, so let me finish. So when these tests were, when the official documents were out, say 50 feet or whatever, that say that you can get these double runs, obviously, who's to say that isn't out of date? Technology moves on, and it's more beneficial for the end user, rather than doing it every 50 feet and it taking an awful long time to do so many runs to build up to that 100 meters. It will be far more beneficial and quicker in the long run for the end user if they was to able to do it, and it would be accurate over 100 meters. Now, just because
you're misinterpreting. No, Ranty.
Let me finish.
I agree that would be more efficient, but that's not how it works.
Yes, but just let me finish. Just let me finish.
Look, it's not guaranteed.
Let me finish. You asked me to stop people interrupting you, and I've asked you to not interrupt me. Right, okay.
Run with it.
So, you've got this accuracy that tells you that it's accurate up to 100 meters with new equipment. When was the rule book introduced that told you about these double runs? When did they tell you that 50 feet was accurate? In what year?
This is in geodetic specs for conducting a double run test. Right. Now the thing is, what you're looking at is, just a minute, the accuracy at 100 meters is not in reference to the double run. What that means is how accurately the internal compensator can set the optics in.
Stop it, George.
Within so many arc seconds, which you can translate over 100 meters to how much vertical deviation it is.
Oh, stop it.
That has nothing to do with doing the double run accuracy spec.
In which year was
different spec?
In which year was this this handbook written that told you that you needed to do it at 50 feet?
Oh, don't start with these games. I don't have the particular document in front of me. I can get it for you. You can go and look at it. No, it has to do.
The 1960s. George, I'm just trying to be. I'm just trying to get.
I'm trying to tell you what's going on here.
So am I.
I'll tell you what's going on.
If you use more than 100 feet, then you're going to have the curvature of the Earth affecting the double run measurement verification.
Right, Ranty, can you just shut him up for a second, please? Because he's talking rubbish.
Very small steps in order to verify and confirm
Ranty, you're a practical guy, right, Ranty?
But this new equipment has these tools built inside of them, apparently, that account for that.
It's an auto level, Ranty.
No, an auto level does not have any electronics.
No, nobody said electronics. Ranty,
other than the plumb line that sets up the optics.
Ranty, can you hear me?
Okay, that's fair enough.
Can you hear me?
Why would they say it's accurate to 100 meters?
I hear you, Bev.
Right.
I don't think he can hear you, Bev.
Why would they say it's accurate
Ranty.
to 100 meters then, George?
Ranty. Bev is talking. Can you hear him?
Why would they say it's accurate to 100 meters?
Is he no?
You know, I wonder if we got. I think.
I mean, if it's accurate.
Ranty, the spec.
If it's accurate to 50 feet,
show me the spec that you're concerned about.
Oh my God!
Well, if it's accurate,
show me the spec that you're concerned about, Ranty.
George, if it's auto level to 50 feet and it's fine,
Ranty,
but it's also the same accuracy to 100 meters.
Oh my God!
Then what's the difference?
Ranty.
That's not what that means. You're misinterpreting the spec. If you want, I'll grab the auto level spec for mine.
Hey, Paige,
and
can
we can
you try
go
to get
over
his
that.
attention?
Yeah, can you
Ranty?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Not really.
Ranty,
I'm trying to ascertain why it wouldn't be accurate to use an auto level that's accurate at 100 meters to one that you just need to use it at 50 feet. I just see it
I
as
never said you have to use it only at 50 meters. I use
Ranty.
it for much longer distances. All I'm trying to do is verify for you or get you to understand what the double run 1 kilometer spec means. That does not.
What spec? What are you talking about, George?
As the auto level accuracy.
But Bev isn't doing a double
You're
run. He's
quoting.
doing,
Ranty.
let me finish. He's doing a 1 run. He's not
What do you
bothered
want,
about-
Bev?
Oh my goodness, Ranty, can you hear Bev?
Can now.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes,
Right,
Bev.
can you hear me?
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, Ranty, you're a practical guy, right? Right, now, if you wanted to get an auto level, you say you just bought an auto level, right? What would you do if you wanted to go when you say, now, I want to see how far I can go and keep millimeter accurate with this tool? Now, what would you do? Practically, well, you know, like what
Practically, I would do it. I would do it at small increments to start with, and go down to say half a mile, and then I would have one basher trying to do it in half a mile, just to see what it leveled out at.
Would you, like what I did when I got my auto level, my new one? I took it to a car park, big long stretch, and I marked out on the floor 60, 80, 100, 200, 250 meters, right? And then I got my lad to sit on the auto level and measure the distance, measure like what he could see. And now we got to 100 meters, and that's millimeter accurate. I can bring you down the level. We can set it up. You can look at it for yourself, look through the thing, and go, yeah, I reckon I could read to millimeter through that thing.
All you a test to do.
Right? And then you can go to 250 meters. You get to about 2-3 millimeters. You could see it. You could judge it. You can judge within 2 or 3 millimeters over 250 meters. But I said, that's no good for my test. I want to keep within a millimeter. So, in order to keep the straight line segment shared, if you double rod your run at, say, 50 meters and 100 meters, then move your level all the way around and reposition and sight back to the 50 meter and 100 meter, thus establishing a shared segment between those two. And then go and do that ahead with your foresight at 50 meters and 100 meters, and keep looping the level all the way around. You are sharing a straight line segment, double rodded, for double accuracy as you were doing your run. Right?
Hey, Bev.
Yeah?
Ranty, this is a test I'd like you to do. Now, I've been telling people to do this.
George, we've already got a test sorted. Thanks.
No, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. This will very quickly determine for you if the Earth is flat or not.
It's not that. No. We're just establishing. First off, George, we start off with level being horizontal first.
Let's listen to what his suggestion is first, and then we'll just tell him what.
Yeah, we've got to know what the datum is we're using.
Yeah. So spell out your.
All right, Randy.
This is
is
how
what
we
I'd
can
like to
improve.
do.
Go
All
ahead.
right, you take your auto level. Okay, you get it leveled. You find 2 positions. Let's do it at a kilometer. Okay. So that you can do, or
hold on,
pick a
wait a
half
minute.
a kilometer.
How
pick
accurate
half
would
a
it be at a
kilometer.
kilometer?
It wouldn't. You
Say
couldn't
what?
do it.
Why would it be accurate? You can't take 2 positions up to a kilometer. That would mean 500 meters for each one. There's no way that you could get that.
You haven't heard what I'm trying to tell you to do.
Well, I've just heard
You're
Beth
telling
saying
me-
that it was. Just a minute. I've just heard
No,
Beth
you're
telling
telling me
just
on
let
the
me
double
finish.
run spec. Okay.
Just let me
Oh,
finish. You
let-
keep
let's
interrupting
go,
me. So let me finish. So you've just heard Bev say that when he got to 250 meters, he noticed there was a 3 millimeter deviation, and he wasn't happy with that. But what you're saying is now that you can go to 500 meters, and then 1,000 meters.
But you haven't heard what I've proposed for you to do.
But if it's not accurate at
It's not gonna
250
be accurate,
meters,
yeah.
it's certainly not going to be accurate at
What
500
do you mean not
or
accurate?
a kilometer.
This is painful.
You've got your spec. You work within the spec.
So it is
Let's
accurate
take-
up to a kilometer. So
Hey,
why are you
George, what
arguing
is-
about this?
Within,
What are we arguing about?
George, what is foresight and backsight?
foresight
So
is
now
when you're
he's gonna
looking sight is when you're looking forward, and back sight is when you're doing a 180 on the rotating of the base.
Why would you do
Typically,
that?
that's something that you do with the scope.
Why would you do that? Why would you do a foresight and then a back sight?
That averages out your errors in sort of mechanical failure, errors that you have in your base and stuff. Typically, if you want to take your auto level and set up 2 elevations, you set your auto level in the middle and shoot forward and then shoot backward, mark the 2 lines, and you're guaranteed that those are at the same elevation.
What are you determining by doing that, except for guarantee?
Well, look I want to explain this to Ranty.
Answer his question, please.
No, I was talking to Ranty, and this guy rudely interrupted. I'm going to first talk to Ranty.
That's a good question. Answer the question.
Okay? Yes or no?
George?
Ranty, here's a test you do.
It's an awkward question, that, is it?
Then,
you just like the way you just skipped that question. Was that really a bit much for you,
I'm going to
Judge?
turn you down, Bev.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't.
It was too much for
interruptions. Okay, Ranty. The thing is,
listen, George,
to take your auto level.
Ranty already addressed your problem here.
No, he hasn't.
We want to know why they're doing double runs.
is.
You're not here to tell us what we're asking questions. Why are they doing a double run? What is the purpose of that? You have the expertise, so tell us.
Your auto level.
Hey,
Let's
just
say
get
you
a-
set it out. You sight a target out 300 feet. Okay, and then you also have a target at your auto level, say 10 feet away. And the best way to make a target is, say, take like a sheet of metal, paint it black, and then take a scratch-all and scratch a line with a ruler on it so that you have a very, very thin line that you can set your auto level to. So you have 2 targets like this. You set one target about 10 feet away from your auto level, and you sight your auto level to that target. Say your target, say you're on the east-west line. You have your first target, say target A in the east, your target B in the west. So you step forward westerly from the target A and shoot towards the east 10 feet from that target and get it lined up. Then rotate your auto level 180 degrees, shoot out, say 300 meters. And get that second target lined up to the auto level. Now, move your auto level to 10 feet within target B and set its crosshair, adjust its height so the crosshair is right on target B and shoot towards target A. If the Earth is truly flat, that auto level...
George, let him finish. Let him finish. Just let him finish. Just let him finish. Just let him get it out. Just let him finish.
If the Earth is truly flat, then the auto level should sight up with target A. And you will find that it will shoot high, and which is what will happen when you're on a globe Earth. It's a very simple test, very easy to do.
Wrong, because at that moment you're including perspective of things when you're doing that, George.
Not only that, but George, at the beginning of this test, are target A and target B at known elevations, right?
Yeah, you set your auto level in the middle, and say you could put your target out 150 meters, right or left. Your left, get in the middle of the 2 targets.
So when the manufacturer
adjust the target height.
We already heard you say this.
So when the manufacturer creates this instrument,
the same elevation.
They do this test, right? The manufacturer does this, and they take into account.
I'm not hearing anything. It's all roboting.
Yeah, we hear it fine. We hear it fine.
So when the manufacturer makes this instrument, do they do this test and put this caveat in their sales manual, saying, hey, if you walk, set up 10 feet away and shoot 300 feet away, but then you go 300 feet away and shoot back, it's going to be off because of Earth curve.
No, that's the peg test, isn't it?
This is self-evident. Everyone that understands geometry in the Earth, all the purveyors.
Isn't that the 2 peg test, George?
Well, this is what you do, Ranty.
George.
That's how they check the accuracy
set your
level.
targets off.
Double peg test, not see that it's off. George.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
George is saying they use the double peg. George is saying they use the double peg before they sell us the instrument to prove the Earth curve.
Yeah.
It's actually used to check the accuracy of the level. That is the exact test to check accuracy of the horizontal line that the level is giving you.
Nice try, George. Nice try.
George,
That's right.
George, you're either delusional or you're being deceptive, sir.
I think he put you on mute, Beb.
I know, but I mean, it's bad for him. This is
checking
bad.
the accuracy of the auto level. What you want to do, Racky,
you
is
hear
different.
how he dodged that
Listen
question?
up, Racky. The difference
this is terrible.
is you set your auto level to the first target. Then
this is the best they've got.
Rotate around. You rotate on the base.
And he just mutes everybody. He mutes anyone who want to ask him a question. If you want to talk to him or have a discussion, he's just here to monologue.
And that would be, I'd like to hear Bev's question again that you didn't ask, you didn't answer there, George. If you want to increase Bev's volume so that you can hear him ask the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was Aaron.
All right.
I think it was Glenn or somebody else was.
Bev.
Beb.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I was just ridiculing you, George, saying this was absolutely terrible for you and your display of what you don't know. It's awful.
There was a question.
I don't know.
Hold on, there was a question that was asked to George that he didn't answer, and people were mentioning it. So, whoever that was, can you repeat it, please?
I can't remember it. Right when he skipped over it, it was a while ago, Ranty, or just.
I can. It's going up there and back. Why?
Oh, right. Okay. So there you go.
Yep.
You say something about turning back the measurement and checking, and why he was doing that. What was the reason of doing that?
That was Rakia question.
I didn't get that at all. He's roboting on me.
I
Someone repeat it for me.
Can you hear me, George? Can you hear me? George?
Hello?
George, can you hear me? So anyway, what I did ask him.
My Discord connection sucks
I
here.
asked George about foresight and backside, and he explained. He gave us like 3 minutes.
Everything's roboting on me, Ranty.
I asked George why did they do that, right? So someone else can repeat that to George.
I need to restart.
Okay, you restart then, George. Right, so you're not going to get an answer from him anytime soon. So he's had to restart. He's back. Right, here we go.
Can you repeat
hold on,
the question?
Hold on.
Repeat the question, because George.
Hold on, he's back. Right, so go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, the question I asked, I did interrupt him when George and Ranty were going back and forth, but I asked George if he knows what foresight and backside is, and he gave this like 3-minute explanation of nonsense or just obvious bullshit. And then the next question was, why do they do that? Why do you do a foresight and a backside to double check your instrument? Why do you do that? And it's obvious, as we all know, is to create a horizontal plane all the way around the instrument, right? You can rotate the instrument 360 degrees on its plane, and it's to create a horizontal or to double check the horizontal. Maybe one of your legs of your tripod kind of sank in the dirt or something. You never know. So you just double check like that.
I've put a picture in the general chat if you want to have a look. That's a drawing that I did by the side of the canal to explain how we would traverse the point from the start to the finish. I mean...
Yeah, I got a question for you, Bev, on this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the thing that you're setting up. All right, you have your first auto level in the middle between the two posts. Now you
in between the front foresight and the back sight, them two posts.
You've made a mark on your second post here. Okay. Now, moved your auto level ahead.
Yeah.
And you're sighting that new mark, and now you do
foresight becomes back sight
to get the next mark on the next pole.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, yeah, it's just a measuring rod, though, right?
Measure rod.
Yeah.
But you're going to leapfrog ahead this way. You're going to set your auto level up, do a foresight to the previous mark, and then do a back sight to the
differential leveling.
Yep. Right. I encourage you to do this. However,
good.
posts should not be 33 feet apart. That's not going to be enough to register any curvature of the Earth.
50 meters and 100 meters, George. Double rodding to establish a shared line segment.
What's the distance between the rods?
Pardon?
What is your proposed distance between
50 meters and 100 meters, George.
Wait. What do you mean 50 and 100? Aren't you setting your posts in increments apart?
Pardon? You broke up then.
I'm saying, on your posts.
Yep.
Distance between the posts, how can it be two different things? Aren't you going to set them evenly?
Do two.
Apart?
Yeah, we double rod, George. Have you never heard of it? Extra accuracy, because we want to make sure that that's a definite straight line, and nobody can say it's not a straight line. So
you're not hearing me. Bev.
You're not understanding me, George.
Oh, I'm trying to do.
Yeah, you're stalling for time while somebody saves you.
What's the distance between post BS and the post PS that I'm reading?
No,
what is that physical distance?
That drawing there is a drawing to show foresight and backsight and how the differential leveling technique works. Yes.
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
I want to know what is the distance.
There's no distance. That's just a drawing.
In your post.
There's no There's no distance on that. That's just a drawing to show. Okay.
Bev.
Yeah.
Bev.
So when I do my test.
Bev, shut up a minute. I'm asking you a simple question. When you go out to do this on your canal,
yep.
How far are you putting the posts from your auto level?
The posts, right, with the measuring rod.
Yes, your measuring rod. Okay. How
right.
far is it from the auto level?
When I did it the other day to establish the straight line, we did 33 meters, 66 meters, 99 meters. Right, so we did 3 when we did that. But George,
quit being obtuse.
Stop asking me a question and then interrupting me when I give you the answer.
Yeah, he's the one being obtuse.
I'm trying to understand here this diagram.
It's getting pretty simple. Not this diagram, no. Like I say, this diagram is just a diagram to help show how foresight and backsight and differential leveling is achieved, right? Okay, so that's not the test I'm doing, right?
Well, what is the test you're doing then?
Right, okay. You're asking me how far I measure the measuring rod away from the auto level. Yes?
Yes.
Right, okay. Now, I'm going to tell you it's not one measurement point because people would say, it bends. So what I did, we developed a test. Well, it was called double rodding. You probably might have heard of it, but we went one further than that. So we did 3 measurement points. I mean, it sounds ridiculous to have to prove to people that a horizontal line is a straight line and do 3 measurement points. But we did it anyway. And we did 33, 66 and 99. Then we moved the level to the other side and we took a reading on those 3 points back again. And guess what, George? They were the same. So that shows that the straight line segment is shared. Now you can continue to do that. So when we go and actually do our test, what we're going to do is we're going to get surveyors, professional surveyors to come and establish a horizontal line at 3 points. At 3 points. Yeah. 3 points, just over a mile at one end, the middle, and then at the other end. 3 points on a horizontal. That's it.
Can I say something real quick? Okay, what's up, guys? You do know that George has done this. Have you looked at his videos? Like, he knows what he's talking about. It's not kind of like you just disregard, like he doesn't know.
Well,
smart in this field.
He's sort of done
videos,
it.
Haven't you?
Yeah,
George is
doing
telling
it
us
and
to
understanding
set
the
up
concept is different.
George is telling us to set up the instrument at 100 feet, and yet on his videos, he said he looked over 6.2 miles.
Yes.
Kidding me?
Yeah.
Well, his videos are wrong then, is what
Yeah.
you're saying. When you watch his videos,
Well,
you can dissect them and say where they're
there
wrong.
becomes a whole bunch of other factors.
Yeah.
Yes, One. That's what we're saying. They're wrong.
He's just said 100 foot, and the manual said 100 meters, and Aaron just put up wiki that basically says, yeah, it's normally about 100 meters.
Yeah.
So why is wiki and the manual wrong and George right, you idiot?
You know why I think he's saying 100 feet? It's because
Have you seen his videos?
it's because the main surveyor says 100 feet.
So he's just copying him.
Yeah.
George,
Jeff.
how are they wrong in what you just said? Because if they are, I mean, I don't know.
He said 100 feet.
All you know is when I watch his videos,
and it says 100 meters in the manual.
Cool.
All you've got to do is look down the scope yourself, and you can see that over 100 meters, you can look and see millimeter accurate. So that's good enough for me to know it's millimeter accurate. If you can see a millimeter, then
A goddamn quarterback can see a millimeter accuracy to the receiver at 100 meters. Come on.
So did that answer your question, Tony?
Yeah. Well, I don't know why you're laughing. I mean, you guys would go on defensive right away. I just want to know what's up. So, George, maybe a rebuttal on what they just said about the 100 meter and the 100 foot, maybe? Because right now...
Yes, George. Rebuttal.
Wait there, Tony. Tony, you just come in here on fire, saying you've all seen his video.
fire.
You know he can do it.
No, I...
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you
he
just
was the
come
one
in
that was
here saying
defensive.
you've got to trust George because he's done it.
Not to mention, George did it over 6.2 miles of ice in sunny weather.
It was sunny weather all the time? He had some footage of when it was not sunny. He had a bunch of footage. He has like a bunch of catalog, George. It's a big
all
catalog.
of his videos,
Can I have
had huge discrepancies. Go ahead.
Can I have a second with Tony? Tony, can
I don't
I?
want to really get deep. I just kind of had it in with my girlfriend, so I want to vent a little bit. I want to vent a little bit. But
look at the chat.
Well, don't vent at us, thanks.
Hang
on. I want to vent.
Like, seriously, my God.
Tony, look at the picture I just posted at 8:03. That's George's picture. You want to look at it?
And to be honest, Tony is the best one.
Where do you post it?
Wait, where are you?
In the general.
General.
At 8:03 in the general chat.
Okay.
Let me know when you see it, Tony. I want to ask you a question.
Oh, is that a Stadia hair or?
All right, 8:03. You're right.
Rakia Life. I posted George's picture.
I don't see it.
8:03 in the general.
Yeah, I don't see it.
It's 2:03 for you, Ranty. It's
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning.
It's
It's the
9:03.
crosshairs.
9:03,
It's the
right?
crosshairs.
Yeah,
It's
are
the
they
crosshairs.
Stadia hairs or what?
Yeah. It's
Okay,
pretty
Tony.
electric.
Tony, that is.
Yep, I see it.
You see it? That's George's picture, all right?
Okay.
That's his crosshairs over 2.7 miles. Would you say he knows what he's doing and that's an accurate crosshair? Like an accurate horizontal line? I mean, that's his...
Is that like a image that you took? Or is
No,
that his final,
that's-
where he
That's
wanted where he
George.
rested the fucking, the crosshairs? That's where his final resting place was right there? Or
That's
was he panning up and
George-
someone took a screenshot?
No, that's George taking a screenshot of his crosshairs. Where those crosshairs are horizontal on that day. You understand what I'm saying, right?
I think so, yeah. It looks horizontal, okay? But it's a little low. It's a little below the water right there. But,
No, sir. That's horizontal. You understand what I'm saying,
but
right?
it's horizontal. It still can be below something. It's horizontal. It's left to right horizontal. Got it.
Yeah.
Now
Well, his tool is set up level, and he's shooting a horizontal line. That's what the tool does. You agree with
so
that?
That means there's a hump. That means there's a hump in the middle.
That's
What, a hump
George's.
like what? Hang on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute.
I think it's a hump. I think that's what makes. That's the first thing that popped in my head.
So there's a hump there, right? Okay, so you do realise that from his position, though, everything around him is falling away, hump or not.
It's a big lump of water over there.
You idiot!
George said you cannot measure vertical change with an auto level.
Wait a second.
Can I finish with you?
You guys, I think you guys are right. You guys are right.
Hang on, Tony. Can I finish with you for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
It won't take much longer. Look at the next picture I just posted. Rakia Life, I just posted it. And tell me what you see. Now that's the same person at the same elevation. He's set up in the same exact place. The only difference is he's using the same tool. The only difference is it's on a different day, sir. Now you tell me how accurate he can get with that tool.
So then, yeah, it's definitely it's subject to weather anomalies. Okay, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That's only 2.7 miles. Done by a professional.
Okay,
with a professional tool.
Can I say something? Sure. Does he give you the temperatures and everything of that day so you can calculate it out and see if it should be low or high?
Not what we're talking about here, but
that's
you
what
see
I'm
the difference.
Because that's what if he gives that, then it's okay. Then these pictures.
Yeah, but if you're talking, hold on. You're talking about refraction now. You're bringing refraction into this when the tool itself is just designed to find the horizontal.
Horizontal, yeah.
And
magic, though.
What we're saying is.
My point is it's not accurate. It can't be used over long distance for the reasons you just gave, and thank you for giving that reason. That's why we don't use it over 2.7 miles.
You guys do. You guys do understand that.
If you have the equations, I mean, maybe I don't know really about this all that much. I'm just winging it off the top of my head. So you're making good points. I don't know any rebuttals to that right now, to be honest.
It'd be very easy to cherry pick the second photo to say there's drop. It'd be very easy to do that.
Yeah, you guys do understand that you establish a horizontal to determine your vertical elevation change within a short distance, right?
So, in the first one,
called differential leveling.
Wouldn't that be weird for him to do that? Like, actually show him not knowing what he's doing, like a screenshot, bam.
He used the same tool over 6 miles, sir, and said he gave you a video telling you it was accurate. Now, do you trust it?
What kind is it? What kind?
Ask him, sir. I'm showing you two of his pictures.
Where's George? Wasn't he in here? George, what's up, man?
He ran away.
Yeah, listen. You've got a bit of echo, so I think you've got the loudspeaker or something. Or your headphones in that are on loud.
Tony, my point is, do you understand why we say you can't use these instruments over long distances, sir? It's our whole point.
It's valid right now to this point. I haven't looked into it deeper, but right now it's valid.
Fair enough. Thank you.
To me, because I'm ignorant in this.
No, that's an honest answer. It's not that you're ignorant.
That's an honest answer. That's fair enough. But you said trust George's video. I'm showing you right now why George's video is crap. He uses this tool over 6 miles over frozen ice.
Just research differential leveling, and you can learn. You can learn the right way.
Guys, I just want to point out how he took 2 different positions about the globe on the same breadth almost. Like in the first picture, he said he was looking at the bulge of the globe. In the second picture, he was looking at the curvature.
He didn't know what he's looking at.
And I'm baffled by that. I honestly don't know.
Well, if it is pulling it up, then it would make it look like a bulge. Because that's the first thing I said, bulge. And that's honest. I'm not honest. I don't say, if it's on my head, I do it. Why do I care? What do you guys think?
Well, that thing was level on both pictures, though. So it wasn't pointing up or down. It was a level.
So
professional survey. That's a professional surveyor that you trust, that you told us to trust, and question us on why we don't trust him, setting up that tool to use as an horizontal, and that's what that tool is designed to do. The only problem is it's not designed to do over that distance.
George is claiming he's a professional surveyor now?
No. I've never heard him say that. He's just an
ass?
On his spare time, but he's an amateur, but he's a good amateur.
So what's he doing amateurly then?
You're breaking my heart, man. What was that?
What is he doing in his amateur surveying?
I think that he gave the temperatures and everything so you can work it out and be a lot more accurate than.
But what was he doing in surveying? Normally, there's a reason for you to do surveying, right? What is George amateurly doing, do you think?
Oh, this is what I think. Okay, I think George, he's gotten older, and he's kind of losing track of friends or something, and he wants to get back in the community, so he found this, and he's like, well, I know how to do this. I can probably get in here and make friends and, and make like a family on the internet. It's just about camaraderie, probably. If I was to guess, I would think that, because everyone's looking for that, so.
George told me all he was doing was observing refraction. He was not surveying. And I told him you can't measure 6 miles across the frozen lake. And he said, that's right. You have to measure it in short increments. He knows that.
Oops.
Was my answer bad?
Not really.
It's true, what you said.
That's true.
I think so. I think so. Which is cool, because a lot of us do that. This is fine, shit, it's hard to go out there now.
He's probably trying to impress somebody, you think?
No, not impressed. Just he wants to be part of the community, like a lot of people do. Want to be part of something. And this is.
Well, I think these real surveyors are misrepresenting what they're doing when they're doing reciprocal leveling, and they're talking about tilt, and they're trying to imply curvature. There's a standard they live up to. There's a code. What they're misrepresenting to you guys is totally wrong. And you need to learn about reciprocal leveling and differential leveling, and you'll understand that these guys are con men.
Or Clary, they just want to be part of a community also, right? Like, oh, we're professional surveyors. We have to come up with the exact same measurements, right? We cannot fight with each other. So we buy the exact same instruments. We take the exact same measurements, and we all sit there at the bar and shake hands and be like, yeah, see, that's what it is.
Let me read this definition so Tony will understand what you just said, Cleary. Reciprocal leveling is one leveling between two widely separated points in which observations are made in both directions to eliminate the effects of atmospheric refraction and curvature of the Earth.
Rakia Life is a boss, and when they refer to curvature of the Earth, they're talking about perspective compression.
That's
perspective
right.
compression. They call it Earth curve.
Can I just have a go here as well? Because I think there are surveyors, right? And we have surveyors, or like people like George, the amateur surveyors, right? But that's because the real surveyors, when they were to come here, if they were to come here and talk to you guys about how they actually work, then they get called flat earthers. They get ridiculed, they get phoned up, the bosses get phoned up, and they'd lose their job. So no real surveyors can come here and tell you what they actually do, because their careers would be threatened.
Real surveyor will mention a flat plane more than we do.
Yeah, just like Crow XE told me, 200 feet above sea level plus the presupposed radius. That's geodetics metrics thrown on top of a measurement, a plane surveyor measurement.
Wait, what?
What?
Has Jesse
So
Cleary,
Bev, and Rakia. These surveys.
People, you've been misrepresenting people of the panel, but now you are misrepresenting someone on the panel.
Hold on. So
what the hell is that?
Crow, someone's talking.
These surveyors.
Yeah, he was someone.
Yeah,
someone
he's
was
talking
saying
all
things
over
that I
you.
didn't say. Yeah, I was talking about me.
Yeah, I've got it
No,
on tape.
The surveyors
face
that come
one.
along today, aren't they setting up on pre-set mag mounts that have already been set from dudes years ago doing plane surveying, right?
The benchmarks are set.
They're not taking new measurements. They're just setting up on that, and then, like you said, whatever their calculations programming does, and going to another one saying there has to be curve. Okay, but they're already setting up on mounts that have already been set hundreds of years ago, 500 years ago, right?
Yeah, there's a canal in China that's over 2,000 years old. Mm-hmm. It's over 1,000 miles long.
1,100, yeah.
They definitely knew what horizontal level was back then.
The Grand Canal. That's right.
Crow, if you don't remember what you said, watch this video right here I put in general chat. You said that 200 feet above sea level, and then you add the geodesic metric of 39.59 for the radius. One thing is measured, and one thing is imagined. You didn't say it like that exactly, but anyway.
Okay, so yeah, I remember now what I said.
Now you remember.
And it's not what you said. What I said is that when they landed on the beach of America for the first time, and they saw a mountain, so they point their thing and they measure the distance, and they measure it in elevation angle. They added the curvature drop in order to calculate the elevation of that mountain, the real elevation, because there's a drop.
No, they set a baseline at Fire Island, and they triangulated from that point. I looked up the history. It's not so long ago.
Yeah, and they added the curvature.
They added the curvature.
Yeah, the drop.
The radius.
They didn't measure it. They just added it.
Now, what happens when you? I think I know the answer to this, but when you measure, let's say 4 miles, okay, it's going to be a certain feet and then inches. It's always going to be that. 4 miles is that. Now, if you do it as the crow flies above and hit the apex of the supposed curve, and just skim it and do an actual 4 miles, it's going to measure at 4 miles. Now, if you go on the ground with one of those wheels things and measure it like actual from the ground.
Hey, Rodney B's here. He's a real surveyor.
It's going to be a longer distance, and that's what the Great Circle route is. That thing.
It's a horizontal distance. It always measured horizontal distances in surveying.
A chord. Yeah, they
Rodney B.
Walk it out on the land. It's longer.
They actually did what they're doing, what Crow was talking about with what I've heard is chains, right? Or set length. Distance.
Hey, Rodney B, jump in the show channel. We are here.
Right, to get a perfect triangle with no spherical excess.
Yeah, triangles only have 180-degree internal angles.
Well, none of us was there with them, so I could be wrong. You could be wrong.
No,
these points have already been set, right? That now, let's say Jesse Kalowski or professional surveyors are just referencing off of, but they've already been set. So now they're going back and saying the original surveyors are wrong because they didn't account for curvature?
No, they say they accounted for curvature.
They measured curvature. No.
No, not measured it.
That's right, never.
They triangulated their positions, and then what did they do with the triangles? How did they adjust?
But hello, Bev.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bev. But do you get my point? If the Earth was a globe, how would they measure the height of mountains?
What's the elevation changes? Differential leveling techniques, like Cleary just said. Differential in the elevation. Right?
What are you saying on a globe? How would you ever do that?
Oh, we back to like imagining things. I only ever deal in reality, right? That's.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There's no need for me to imagine anything else.
Yeah. How in the hell would you ever measure curvature? That's right.
Yeah.
How would you do that?
So this is very simple. I'm going to simplify it. Of course, it's going to be more complicated than this. Let's say we see a mountain that's 10 kilometers away from us. We see an elevation angle based on a flat plane.
What's your elevation angle from?
From my location on the beach.
From the point you're at, or like how are you measuring the angle? You need two straight lines. The inclination of one line to another that's where your angle's coming from.
From the vertical. How about that?
From the vertical.
Also, Crow, are you taking perspective into account? That's a very simple.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So I measure the elevation angle to that mountain.
You meant it would be a zenith angle, right? Not elevation, because elevation would be from the horizontal.
Yes, and then I subtract because you don't see the horizon when you're
no, but you can still establish a horizontal, right?
Yes.
You don't have to be able to see the horizon to establish a horizontal.
So they measure the elevation angle, and then on a flat plane.
Yep.
On a flat plane, that mountain would be 4 kilometers. But they know that the distance to that mountain is 10 kilometers. So
is it a horizontal distance?
So they have pre-known distances when they're first coming onto the land, and trying to get heights of certain hills and mountains in the background. But they already know, because the Indians told them, like, how far away that mountain is, right?
Yeah.
Or did somebody walk it first?
Come on. I'm just trying to be simple. Okay, we get to position 5 kilometers between each other, both of them on the beach.
That's a measured 5 kilometers, though, right?
They measure the zenith, not the zenith, the azimuth. Both observers measure the azimuth, and they know the distance between them, so they know the distance to the mountain. But I didn't want to go through all of this.
Right, so they did measure the distance, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that distance will be a straight line. Because I presume you're going to want to do trigonometry here, right?
Yeah,
and then in doing trigonometry, right, you need straight line triangles, and the triangles to have 180 degrees internal angles, right?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yes. So we have the base of the triangle, and then we know the angles, so we can evaluate the distance to that mountain. Now we measure the elevation angle to the tip of that mountain. We see it 4,000 meters, for example. But over the 10 kilometers, there's a drop of, say, 200 meters. So they write down this mountain is 4,200 meters. So I assume that's the way it should be done.
No, I don't know how your geometry just worked there. That sounds...
No. That was a little bit...
Sounds crazy, right? That's not how surveyors would work, right? You do know that. Or is that how you imagine surveyors work?
This is how they work.
Crow, you understand, Crow, that you're adding certain things that, like you said, we weren't there when those guys, men and women, did that. That we I wouldn't think that they would do that, right? They're not going to add in this arc over a great circle just to get to the base and center of the mountain, to get to the tip and then come back to the guy on the beach.
I didn't mention any arc between the two observers. I didn't mention any arc.
Then you're using plain geometry, right?
Of course, it's non-Euclidean. It's Euclidean, the normal geometry.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, horizontal, like in a vertical elevation from the horizontal.
What?
That's what surveying would be doing. The elevation is a vertical distance, right, above the horizontal, right?
Yeah.
That's how you measure an elevation distance, and that distance is above a datum. That datum is horizontal. Well, I know you don't imagine it being horizontal, but it is, because you've just said straight line triangles and right angles and all of that. So it's a straight line, you just imagine it to curve, right?
Let me ask this, Biff. So if we're on the beach and there's a mountain, 4,000 kilometers, how far away, Crow?
10 kilometers away, for example.
Okay, 10 kilometers. And I set up a horizontal with my original auto level thing, and if it's curved and I'm shooting a level tangent off that curve, or a straight tangent off that curve, my horizontal is going to end up halfway up that mountain, right? So where do I get my triangle from?
From the elevation angle.
Okay. Back down to what? Back down to horizontal?
Yes, from the horizontal to the tip of the mountain.
But my horizontal, because
your
Earth is curved, if I shoot a tangent line from where I'm at the beach, I'm going to end up halfway through that mountain. So I'm only measuring from, half of the mountain to the tip, and then how are you going to get to the base on the curve?
By calculating the drop of the 10 kilometers. distance.
How are you going to do that? You're going to aim. So now you're going to do a declination of your instrument to just assume where the base is.
No, you
assert R.
you say the mountain came to 2,000 meters or 2 kilometers. We don't know how much of it is missing. We use the Earth curvature calculator, so we add what's
Exactly. Assert R. Just what I just said.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good call, Rocky.
Crow, here's the deal. Y'all have assumed and imagined curved lines for so long, you can't
No,
fathom.
I didn't
Hang on.
assume.
Quit
No,
cutting me off,
don't
sir.
tell me I
Don't cut me
assumed
off.
and that I have to cut you off because I didn't assume it. I calculated it.
You don't have to cut me off. You chose to. People are assuming that lines are curved and assuming the sphere so much and having to imagine that they can't even fathom how to do a horizontal test anymore. They can't even think about it.
I don't care about others. Others may be sheep, globers. Maybe some globers are sheep, but I'm not.
You just asserted R,
sir.
Don't
talk to me. Don't talk to me about others.
How did you calculate
You just asserted
a value?
R.
Yeah, how did you calculate a value for R? Where did it come from?
Okay, I'm coming to you. I didn't assert R. I used the concluded R. There's a difference between this and that.
Okay, listen, Crow.
Yeah, Travis, I'm with you.
Crow, come on, man. Where did you get R?
Okay, so I measured the distance from Qatar Doha, and I compared it to a flight route, and it was very much the same. And then
Okay, hold on. That's a distance. Point A to point B, correct? Okay,
about
great.
Radius.
Okay, great. Where the fuck did you get R? I didn't ask you where you got D. Where did you get R, Crow? Where?
that's what I was explaining when you cut me. I didn't finish.
Look.
I didn't say I bring a distance and I period and I shut up. I didn't. That didn't happen.
Okay, but you're describing distance. I don't give a shit what you can just. All you have to do is say I measured point A to point B. Okay. That say whatever the hell you want. I measured point A, point B, point C, point D, point E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Where the fuck did you get R? Just tell me where you got R from.
You are dictating me a method to convince you when I followed another method.
Yeah, go through your rigmarole then. Go ahead.
It's okay. No one is interested.
Oh man.
No. We are. We want to hear you say what we already know. You are imposing a value for which you have no measurement. You have no measurement of R. You have a value. I'm asking you, where did you get the value?
Okay, so I'll make it simple. You know, Eratosthenes' experiment. The way he measured the radius of the Earth.
Yeah, the way he assumed that he was measuring a sphere, right? The way that he assumed that the sun was very, very far away, and the way that he assumed that the light rays were coming in perpendicular. Yeah, 3 assumptions. He assumed he was on a sphere. How the fuck did he know he was on a sphere?
And apparently he didn't double check himself, so it's not science, right?
Okay.
And how did he falsify his hypothesis? Okay, now listen, Crow.
Why don't you falsify him?
Okay, he's supposed to do that himself. He has an hypothesis. He's supposed to disprove it. If he doesn't disprove it, it stands.
Yeah, he did it probably, and it was falsified.
Probably means you don't know.
Okay, hold on. Are we less advanced than him? Can we falsify him or not?
Why are you appealing to him? You appealed to him. You appealed to him. Now, if you want to bring it up to modern day, then by all the means do so. The question still remains, Crow. Where did you get R?
R. From measuring an arc distance on a sphere and know the angle between the 2 locations.
What sphere did you measure?
The Earth.
How did you know you were on a sphere?
A lot of things, including the sun.
I don't hear Crow.
He measured George Netnick's Tower observations, obviously. Shout out Rocky.
Okay,
No.
listen. You, Crow. We all know this. Everybody else on the panel knows this. You have a value that you do not have a measurement for. It is a calculation that is dependent upon a pre-established value of a circumference. Because if you measure distance, okay, listen. If you measure distance on the Earth, I don't give a shit where you measure it. You are either measuring distance or elevation. You are never measuring arc.
Because you are presupposing that it's flat.
No.
How do you measure the arc?
How do you know it's an arc to begin with? If you're measuring point A to point B, how do you know there's a
Because he's presupposing he's on a sphere.
While you are presupposing you're on a flat Earth.
No, do not turn this
we're
around
not
on
adding
us.
anything into our measurement. You are.
Listen, Crow.
Check the general chat.
Crow, if you and I both set up and measure the same distance, we're going to get the same distance. I'm not going to get arc. Where the fuck are you going to get your value for arc? Because we both measured the same distance.
Yes, same distance on a flat plane can be the same distance on a sphere. I'm with you. There's no difference.
And you have no proof of that sphere, though.
I have every proof.
No, you've got assumptions. That's all you've got.
Yeah, the logical basis would be
flat. Can you bring forth this proof? I've been waiting 5 years for this proof.
Okay,
Yeah,
so what's the
here.
claim? What's the claim?
The logical basis would be flat like water.
I mean, what's the claim that you are opposing? The claim is that there's a sun and the Earth is going around it.
A globe.
Yeah, and it goes around the sun and it's tilted and it spins.
The claim, listen. The claim is the claim against which we are arguing is your value for R.
Very good, Travis.
If we both measure the same distance, and you just fucking said it, that it's both the same distance on a sphere and flat Earth. So where do you get it from then? If you can't get it from measuring distance, which you just said you can't, so where do you get the value for R?
I've just told you the angle between the two locations towards the center of the Earth.
Okay.
But what if there's no angle?
Okay, listen.
Well, there's angle because it's a sphere.
Okay, listen.
Can you demonstrate that angle?
Hold on. Crow. How deep is the center of the Earth?
6,271 kilometers.
How did you get that value?
From the arc.
Okay, this is okay.
Oh, jeez, Crow, this is terrible.
Please, for the love of God, Crow, listen.
Sorry, Travis.
You are arguing in a circle. You are justifying your arc value for the radius value. And then when I ask you to justify the radius, you say you get it from the arc. And that is circular reasoning.
You know why it is circular?
Fallacy.
No? Do you know why we are going in circles? Because you're asking me about the radius. How did I calculate the radius?
Because you won't be honest.
Hold on, Paige. Hold on, Paige.
How did you measure
Hold on, Paige. Or how did I measure it? No, Paige. I don't like this. Please, stop.
You're not being honest.
Please, stop.
It's like the chicken and egg, bro. That's the problem. Which one was first?
Crow, why don't you take a break, man? Go think about what you're saying. You haven't measured
Yeah,
either.
this obviously triggers you. You can't be honest. You can't understand that you are.
Because you are the most
argument with yourself.
You're dishonest and biased. So, please take a side. I'm going to.
So are you.
I haven't said a word.
You think we grew up?
He's been very respectful, in my opinion. Crow has.
Fine here. He's losing his train of thought because
when someone call you dishonest, it's awful.
I agree with you, Crow, but you're being dishonest with yourself. You need to go. That's why I said you need to go think about what you're saying.
You're
I'm not
being.
saying you're
I
dishonest.
wasn't able to say anything.
He's
until
trying
now,
to say
I couldn't complete one sentence.
Oh, rubbish! You couldn't complete one sentence.
Travis,
Everyone's heard everything you've said. My goodness.
Travis is the one. Travis is the one that was asking the questions and looking for an answer, and I don't mind hearing Crow out with him and Travis. We can get on Crow immediately afterwards.
Okay, so just real quick, again, Pro. We started out by measuring distance. Do you still stand by your statement that your distance and my distance are the same on both your model and mine?
I'm not sure about the flat Earth, but it, there's a flat Earth model, the distance, you can measure it, no problem.
Okay, but earlier I believe I heard you say that the distance I get and the distance you get are indistinguishable. Do you still stand by that?
Yes, if we measure along the longitude line. Like
okay, I don't give a shit if it's longitude or latitude. It's curving on your ball, so it doesn't really matter. So, okay, so since we both have the same distance, where do you get arc from? Because I don't get it. All I get is distance. I have no arc.
Okay, so your question originally, I think it was how did I measure?
Crow's breaking up.
I think first you're gonna notice a arc, and then you're gonna measure the arc. So he's walking you through the steps, Crow, for what I understand.
What I mean is, if someone asks me how do you measure the radius of the Earth, then he's already on the same page with me that.
No, that's not the first step. The first step is looking at it.
Yeah, let me try to start over again, okay? Because you've already given the answers, so I'm not really sure why it's difficult for you to just simply repeat what you've already said. Okay? If you and I both measure the same distance, how does your result include an arc?
How I base my result on an arc?
Yeah, where do you get the spherical excess? Where do you get the spherical excess?
No, again, how does your result include an arc? Listen to the words.
Yes, because the Earth is a sphere.
Okay, stop.
Because I just assume I'm on a sphere.
Right, I know. Listen, Crow, this is insane. Okay, this is called circular reasoning. You have now brought us all the way back to the beginning. You have now made us start over, Crow. How do you know it's a sphere, Crow?
Exactly, that's the question. So we don't talk about radius till we are.
I haven't talked about radius yet. I'm asking you about distance and arc. I haven't asked you about radius.
The original question: how did I measure the radius of the Earth?
Okay, we are now back to just 3 minutes ago, after Aaron started talking and said he wanted to hear you and me have it out. I started at a basic question. We both measured distance. Where do you get arc? I didn't start out in this new conversation. I have not mentioned radius yet. Okay? So how do you know the Earth is a sphere?
Okay, so tilt it and goes up.
Somebody told you.
I'm sorry. Will you please repeat that?
The claim is not not only that it's a sphere. It's a sphere. It goes around the sun, tilted, spinning.
Okay. Please. Why are you? Okay, listen to me very carefully. I hope to God you don't have arguments with your wife like this, because what you've just done now is added 3 or 4 more variables for us to prove. Okay? Fuck. How do you know it's a sphere?
Through these variables.
Are you going to elaborate on that?
Travis, I'd actually like to go back and say, you asked Crow, where did you get R? Okay, so you did mention R. Where did you get R?
Come on.
Don't you want like an in-depth answer? You don't want just like the book cover, or you want like what's inside the meat, you know?
No, I don't.
No, it should be simple. where did you get R?
From looking at lights in the sky.
So, okay, let's start with a simple thing.
I'm sorry they made you guys stop looking at the sky, man. That sucks. The sky's awesome. You guys don't even like to look at it anymore.
Okay,
I
shut
love
up,
looking
whoever
at the
you
sky,
are.
bro.
You shut up. You shut
Love
the fuck
looking
up.
at the sky.
You shut up.
Oh God,
Shut
I
up.
look at the sky so much
Alright,
differently now. I
Tony-
love it.
Tony V,
Feels
let's
so
be
close.
good here.
We can get back on
the Milky
track.
Way.
We can get back on the circular track. Crow, where did you get R? That was Travis's original question. You said
Don't say
distance
this.
and
Don't ask
angles
this
and
question
stuff.
again. Don't ask this question again. Let it sleep.
Yeah, he wants to get off the R
No.
question.
That's the whole point. Is we need you guys to understand you don't have an R.
Do you know the declination angle of the sun? What it is?
Exactly.
Declination angle of what?
Of the sun.
Oh my
Of what?
God.
Hilarious.
Of
Lights
what?
in the sky?
Okay, hold on now. Okay.
Wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
Okay, hold on, just real quick. Okay, so basically what you've taken us back to now is Eratosthenes and a stick in the ground with a 7.2 degree shadow. Yeah?
No, I'm not going to mention this again because this is the next step after sphere. So
Did
not.
But you just brought it up though, Crow. You just brought up the angle of declination of the sun.
Did Eratosthenes bring this up?
Okay, yes. I'm sorry.
Eratosthenes brought this up also? No, he knew about this?
So yeah, Travis, go ahead again.
The globe's over, man.
Okay. So you mentioned the angular declination of the sun, and I'm just asking if what you mean by that is simply referring to a degree of angle of the shadow of a stick. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about some other declination? What is it that you mean by declination?
Yes, what I meant is which latitude line the sun is perpendicular. So the
latitude. What is that? What does a latitude belong on?
Latitude, you can say the distance from the equator, north and south.
Okay, so did Eratosthenes know about the equator?
I don't.
Okay, so why don't we just stick with the basics, okay? Latitude and longitude are spherical 2D references, okay? So don't bring them up, okay? He's got a fucking stick in the ground that's telling him what time o'clock it is in the day, and he puts a degree of angle to it. How does he know it's on a sphere, Crow?
Because on a sphere,
he's trying to prove the sphere.
On a sphere.
He's trying to prove
why
it.
are we?
Yeah.
Why are we on a sphere, Crow? Why are you putting us on a
Eratosthenes
sphere?
Eratosthenes was trying to prove it, so he didn't know it.
Okay.
He was trying to prove it.
I'll rephrase. I'm going to rephrase. The only surface that if you move equal distance, the sun change by equal amount of degrees is if the sun is at infinity or very far away and the surface is the ball.
Okay, how do you know that?
Geometry, and I tested it.
Okay. So again, no. Okay. Yeah, I might need help on this because I'm trying to think through how to address this issue again. Okay, so I just said.
Travis,
okay.
hang on.
Yeah,
Pretty
go ahead.
simple. How does a light in the sky create a curve under your?
Hello?
Easy answer. Sticks.
Do I need to repeat it?
How does a light in the sky create a curve under your feet?
Sticks. That's how.
Light create curve like surface light.
Okay, I've got it. Okay, I've got it now. Okay, listen. Okay, so let's go back to Eratosthenes, and if you want to bring yourself into it, I suppose we can. Okay, So Eratosthenes has a degree of shadow in Syene, and then he has a degree of shadow 500 miles away. Okay, is it possible?
At the same time?
No. Yeah, I think that they did it on. They would have had to have done it on the same day, but I think a year apart because you can only be in one place at one time. Besides that, we don't have all of the story intact. Okay, so this is all make-believe bullshit anyway. Okay.
And it's based upon parallel light rays. It's based on parallel light rays.
All you got three assumptions. Anyway,
yes, okay.
So the shit. Now I lost my train of thought.
Eratosthenes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, let me ask you this question, Crow. If you took the measurement, can you hear me, Crow?
Yes.
Okay, great. So if you and I were both measuring to the peak of a mountain, and I was 10 miles away, and you were 30 miles away, would your degree be greater or less than mine?
Forgot the number. The closer will have higher.
Okay. So if in one location, that location is closer to the sun, and then the other location is farther away, wouldn't that account for the change in degree? Just distance again?
On a flat Earth?
No.
Well.
At all. Just at all.
Okay, well, and Travis, real quick with your thing there about I'm 10 miles away, he's 30, and you're looking at the top of a mountain, and we determined that both of you have the exact same height of the mountain, right? Okay, that's been determined. So now go to light.
Yeah. Okay, but it's very simple analogy, Crow. It's distance. That's the only thing that is changing about this is distance.
Yes.
You're going to get the same measurement, just like you said before. You and I are both going to get the same measurement. We're going to measure distance. You're going to get X. I'm going to get X. How do you get curve? Okay? We're going to take a degree in Syene. We're going to take a degree in Cairo. Those are just simply measurements that rely on location and distance. That has nothing to do with curvature.
Well, he's basing everything on parallel light rays. That's all.
I don't even know what the fuck that means. Like he knows what that means. The only reason why he's saying that is that's what the story says. Okay? Yeah. So I mean, just think about this, guys. Go outside and show me a fucking parallel ray. Tomorrow in the sunshine.
Did nobody watch Brandon Toy's film?
It's just everywhere. The light is everywhere. Go stand between, like I do. I'm walking between two parked trailers. The sun is not shining on me, and I've got daylight in between those two trailers. Is that daylight parallel? Is it coming straight down to the ground?
Somebody just booted me. Did nobody watch Brandon Toy's video earlier? Come on.
Yeah, we did. Crow, you're getting spanked, bro.
Because you ask a question and then you talk and change the subject, and I'm lost.
No, same subject.
So okay, so
no. The last thing. You guys are this is crazy. The shadows would be different. If they are different, it's a curve. It's a sphere. If it's not, do it on a basketball.
Okay.
Hey, shut up. You talked for like 3 minutes, bro. Bro, you talked for 3 fucking minutes, dude. For real.
Yeah, but what you just said showed that you didn't listen to what I said.
Yes, it did. That's what I said shows that I did listen to what you said because you were wrong.
Okay, I'm not wrong. Okay.
Crikey, who's this triggered little snowflake?
It's not triggered.
Wow.
I just gotta talk. You guys don't listen. You guys keep talking and shit.
Listen,
Let me talk.
Okay. No.
You're right, because you haven't had the mic for the last 4 fucking minutes.
You and I. Okay, listen, hold on. You and I are going to measure. Somebody got to talk?
Yeah. I think you broke up for a bit.
Okay.
Don't repeat yourself this time, please. Don't repeat yourself.
I thought Aaron was going to talk, okay? Yeah, I am going to repeat myself. You and I are going to.
Why would you do that? I was here. I was here, bro.
Because
I heard
what
my
you
God.
just said. Okay, little boy.
Dude, don't even, dude. Hey, I'm
What
here in
you
Florida with you,
just
aren't I?
Shush, let him finish.
What do you mean? I was talking. He interrupted me.
What you just said.
You went back on mute.
Showed that you
Someone
did
put me
not.
on mute.
Either you did not understand what I said
Cool,
before,
no.
or you weren't paying attention. Which is it?
I was paying attention. You weren't understanding what I was saying. If you get two toothpicks and put them on different, there you go, on different parts of the basketball, and the shadows are different, put it outside and.
Okay, so you're taking two assumptions into account. You're talking about parallel light rays over a curved surface.
Okay, I got you.
Just to get your argument. That's it.
Cool. What argument doesn't start with an assumption, Brainiac? Tell me that right now.
What
argument
assumptions?
does not
What
start with an
assumptions are you
assumption?
making? What
I just
assumptions
told
are you
you.
making?
Did you not catch it? Did you not catch what I said?
No, I didn't.
On a
hear it.
sphere, on a basketball, the shadows would be the same as a sphere.
Right. Okay. Look. Why are you using a basketball?
Because it was just an
Why
easy
don't you
analogy.
just use the Earth?
Because a basketball I can put in my lap and
Just
use
use
and
the
do the
Earth.
same thing. Why would I do that? Let's do it
Because
too. Do that.
that's
But you need
reality.
the Earth. You need the Earth though,
Are
because if
you
it
a-
matches
are-
the basketball.
do we live on a
Listen to
basketball?
me, dude. Bro, are you just listening, waiting to
Do
hear
we
yourself
live on a
talk?
basketball?
Yes, we live on a sphere. Is
Okay,
the
we
basketball
live
a
on
sphere?
a perfect sphere.
No, but from
Okay,
far
so
away,
then
yeah,
we
it's pretty
don't
perfect.
live. So that we don't live on a basketball.
Is a basketball a perfect sphere?
Pretty damn
There's divots,
close.
isn't there? Well, yeah, the Earth is too.
It's not oblate.
Pretty damn close.
A basketball is not
Do
oblate.
you not understand what I'm
my
saying,
friend.
though? Do you not understand what I'm saying? How the shadows would be different.
Travis, it's obviously a slam dunk then for the globe.
Oh, that was a good pun. I'm going to give you that. That was good.
Travis?
Damn it, I should have thought of that. Damn it. That was good, man. Damn it. That was right there, too, for me to grab, too. Who said that first off? Who said that?
Hello? Travis?
Who said that?
Is this like Kosho's little brother?
No, I've been here way longer than Kosho. I've been here for like
No,
6
it's
years.
Negator's boyfriend.
I've put a video
That's
in,
it.
in the space.
Yeah,
room.
Negator's got a nice, you know.
It's only 1.5 minutes. It's trying to find which surface that would make Polaris elevation angle change by 1 degree every 60 nautical. It's just 1 minute and a
You sure? And you have
Yeah,
to take
I'm-
all factors into account when
I'm
you
driving
do that
right now, so I'm
test.
not going to watch it.
Take all factors into account.
Okay, let me
all
ask you.
of them.
Let me
Not
ask you a
just your
question.
sphere model.
Let me ask you a question.
Hey, man. Hey, Travis wasn't done talking.
Thanks. So we have Polaris. Polaris has a certain elevation in the sky, just like our mountain did. Okay? So
Yeah.
if you're closer, or if you're at a different location and I'm at a different location, we're going to get different angles. You
Exactly.
answered the question already that was due to distance and distance alone, not curvature.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
We're
That's what
talking
you
about
grasped
flight
from
Earth.
what he
We're
said.
talking about
He
a
did not
Okay,
say
okay,
that.
little boy, just wait your turn. Just wait your turn.
Hey, the little boy understands more than the old man then, because you are not hearing what he said.
Relax, don't do it.
When you suffer down to it.
So let's assume the Earth.
Assume what?
Right. The Earth is flat.
No, I'm not giving you that.
So
You know the difference with the basketball? The difference with the basketball is if you got a basketball and a candle or a torch or whatever, you know two things. You know what the light source is and you know where the light source is. You don't have a clue on either of those things with the sun, boys.
Yeah, but what I just said was, if you listened, I said drink it outside and use the sun. So we're using this same thing on each one. See, listening is hard.
Tony V, what are you, a
trying to
globe
stop.
defender?
Crow had a good point. Crow, if
truth
if
defender.
people would stop.
Well, what I was saying, that if the Earth is flat, we look to Polaris. The further we get away from Polaris, angle shallower. That's of course that's perspective. But
okay,
you move equal distance, it's not going to.
You're breaking up a bit, or is it just me?
No, probably.
What do you mean by equal?
Crow.
Do you mean
I have a
lateral?
question. Travis, I
Okay,
have a
go ahead.
question for him. Yeah. I want to ask you, Crow. For how long do we gotta walk?
That's a great question.
Is that it?
Yeah. Just
So
what's the distance?
That reminds me of Forrest Gump. I don't know. What
For real.
Is that
So,
like Forrest
so
Gump?
Crow,
Run
so
until you hit
Crow,
the other beach?
so Crow, backing up from 90, right? Looking straight up at Polaris, and we back up. If we back up a certain distance and then take a geometric angular measurement,
Yes. Oh, okay.
we'll get an angular measurement, right? And so you're
Yeah.
saying that as I continue further back, there's going to be a spherical excess of my measurement, right? Versus a flat Earth. So if I were to continue to go flat all the way back, you're saying there's going to be a huge difference, right?
Yes, the
And
angle
actually
will
an
change.
exponential difference, right?
That's why I asked
No,
him what's
the
the
opposite.
distance that you can need to walk to notice this.
Oh, okay,
You know?
okay. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah, but he asked it at the wrong time. It's not the right time.
111 kilometers. To
111 kilometers. Who has done this?
I've done it from 3 locations. Sudan.
You done it what?
Aswan. I measured the angle to Polaris.
Wait, you have walked
Sudan.
at 110 kilometers and then measure every.
Walk?
Do you have to
We're
walk?
not in
Can
Stone
you drive
Age.
it? You can drive
We're
it.
not in this. I can
What,
fly
drive
it.
What discrepancy did you find in your calculations from the measurement you took there from Aswan to if you calculated it on a flat Earth, if you're looking from Aswan, but it was flat to Polaris at 90 above the North Pole?
There was like 2. But there's a point.
What was the error? What did you find?
I cannot. But what I remember is that match 3 locations even better than Eratosthenes. Eratosthenes is measuring from 2 points. It could be flat. He didn't know. But measuring from 3 points be done to prove the sphere.
So only 3 observations proves it.
Yes.
Okay, but listen. Listen, when we go back to Eratosthenes, and you say he didn't know, all he has is 2 angles.
Yes.
Okay, listen to me very carefully. You can make the sphere after that any fucking size you want. Because those angles are always going to be the same.
Cool. How about this?
No,
You put 2 stakes in the ground.
Little boy,
come on.
I'm
man.
talking to Crow.
Bro, I don't care, man. Let me say something because it's relevant to what you're talking about.
It's almost done. Okay? So, again, Crow, that's my point was, if he doesn't know that he's on a sphere, you still have the same problem that I've asked you. Where do you get that value?
Oh my god, dude. And you said it. Like, seriously, bro.
Value, then we are on a sphere.
If
Value
it's
of R means we are on a. So let's not talk about the radius.
For real.
Man.
That's the whole argument. Where did you get your R from?
I'll tell you where.
You don't have an R at this point.
You get 2 stakes in the ground. Wait a second. You get 2 stakes in the ground. Okay, different distances, and wherever the shadow is, you get a marker or chalk or whatever, and draw.
My
and color it in
God,
the shadow.
dude, a smaller, closer sun.
Hey, Paige.
Gives you the same result.
If they don't want to talk about R,
That's the thing.
Let's
You
make
won't.
them talk about. Let's make them talk about parallel. How about that?
For
If
real,
they don't
man.
want to talk
Hey,
about
man,
R,
I donate
let's
money
talk
to
about
this thing. I should be able to talk and not be interrupted by a bunch of idiots.
talk about parallel.
Oh, poor little boy's upset.
Yeah, if you wouldn't have come in hot, I think you'd have a little bit more respect.
Bro, I just came
Travis
in
and
when we were
Paige, the problem, the advantage this guy's got is he's young enough that he still knows everything.
I'm 41 years
exactly.
old, man. I'm 41 years old. I've been to prison. I have a 14-year-old daughter. Shut the fuck up,
Big
man.
man.
Damn.
Well, then you
No, I'm
should
not
be a
saying
little
it
bit
because of
more
that,
grown
moron.
up,
I'm
mate.
saying I've been
So
through
you
shit,
made some
and
bad
I'm not a little
choices,
kid.
like the globe.
Hey, dumbass.
I've
I'm
been to
not a little
prison.
kid. Is what I'm
I
trying to
learned
say.
about the globe in prison.
Bro,
Well, you're acting like
I'm
one.
just saying. I was doing.
yeah.
I was do. What I was doing to you guys, and you gotta
Hell
understand
yeah.
is extreme. It's extreme down up. You know. So I've been. Never mind. You guys are fucking morons. But I love
I've
you.
been to prison, man. That's where I learned about the globe.
Take a hike
Bro,
then.
it's not
So
what
why
I
are you
said
so
that for.
desperate to talk to us if we're morons?
There's a crazy freaking
yeah,
echo.
bugger off.
Anybody else have this echo?
Yeah,
It's the
who's got
freaking
their mic
retard.
open?
It's me. It's me. Fuck.
It's him. Yeah.
It's him. Why were we friends in the other room but not in here, Paige?
So why
I
don't
love
we
you,
talk
man.
about if you don't want to talk about our Mr. Prison Man? Let's
I was
talk
just
about
talking. Shut the
parallel.
Hey,
Let's
dude,
talk
shut the
about
fuck up.
parallel.
Dude, I've got
He's
no
somebody's
problem with
bitch.
you. I'm saying
American
if
History
you
X.
think we're
Listen,
morons,
American
why
Is
do you
Derek
want to
Vineyard
talk
on
to
the
us?
line here?
Oh, I'd stomp your
Echo,
face right now.
echo.
What happened?
Ahorita me voy
So that means when I'm talking, you can't talk because there's an echo. So can I get a couple of minutes, like a second, 30 seconds?
Sure.
The only time it echoes is when someone talks when I'm talking. That's the kind of a test.
Now on deck,
If it's echoing,
Manny
then it's not good. There
Moto.
you go.
Go for it.
All right, go for it. That was fun.
Later.
That was actually pretty funny, Cleary.
Yeah, that's really hilarious.
Cleary's ace.
Hey, here's something. If you have to deflect from all of your answers and put it as in how do you know that? If you ever say how do you know that or how could it be, that means you're losing the conversation. You say that a
No,
lot,
that's
don't you?
asking you to
No, that's
clarify your
scientific.
claim.
No,
That's
it isn't.
asking you
No, it
to
isn't.
justify your claim.
No, it's not. Not the way.
Yes,
Not the
it
way
is.
it's put in here.
Yes, it is,
Val-
bro.
It's not deflection.
Validate your claim. Verify.
No,
it.
no.
Very
Actually,
simple.
getting the answer
like
would
if-
be asking a question, not saying you're deflecting or this or that. It's actually posing a question to them that is relevant and makes them have to answer it. That's the proper response.
What the hell are you
what
talking
you guys are doing
about?
Is lazy.
No.
I'm talking about how to converse
Why don't
with
you?
different-
Why don't you start the ball rolling? Just like maybe start a different discussion right now.
man.
Wherever you want to go, go.
Let's play.
I'm going to go to those
Let's
shadows
go.
in the ground. If you mark those shadows and color in the shadow off the stick, and you go and see if each one's the same, they're not going to be the same. Because you're looking at the drawing you did on the ground of the shadow where it was, so you don't even have to be there at that exact second. All they have to do is be there at the same time, draw the line where the shadows are, color the shadow in, and go and see if they're the same angles. If they're different, it's a sphere.
What are you assuming in this drawing? What are you assuming?
I'm
in this
assuming
drawing?
that shadows don't lie to me. That's my assumption.
You're
Okay, but
assuming
what
a
else are you
fucking ball
assuming?
already.
Bro, I just told you what I was assuming, moron. Did I say the ball? I didn't. I said you assuming
You
that
don't need to
shadows
say
aren't
it.
lying to
It's
you.
already there in your head.
Wow.
We didn't born yesterday, buddy.
You're assuming
yeah,
the
you
size
have.
of the sun and the distance.
Hey, this guy brought his
guy.
basketball in. He brought his basketball in, but he's not sharing. Man.
What basketball?
God damn it.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I donate to this channel, so it's all good. I can talk when I want to talk, right? I don't talk.
No, donating to the channel doesn't give you the right to just talk over everybody.
I don't talk
No.
over people. You guys talk over me.
Is that Aaron
You just
Armpit?
talked over me right then.
Because I've already been talked over. You
It
talked
is a
over me.
Ah,
Hang on,
because,
can I-
see, so you
let me ask
lied
one
when you
thing.
said you don't
Let me-
talk over people. Come on,
I didn't
dude.
say I don't
Really?
talk over people.
Tony,
I didn't say
Tony,
that.
are you saying?
Now I am, because you guys
You
talk over me.
did. You
Right
just
the hand.
said I don't talk over
God,
people.
it's like you don't understand.
I heard right the hand. I heard
Hang
right
on, hang on. Let me
We
just
need
ask
to
Tony.
server
So,
mute Tony V when he's not talking.
Yeah, do that. Server mute me.
I don't mean him. So Tony, let me ask you. So when you said we see shadows, right? The shadows prove the Earth is a round ball. Is that what you're saying?
That's what he's saying.
I mean, that's like. Do you think if you took that argument to like a hardcore flat earther, you would convince him?
You scared him off.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't,
Well,
I wouldn't convince somebody.
I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't agree that these
exactly
two
what he was
shadows prove the Earth is a sphere.
Yeah, I don't think you can
no
prove
one.
the. Yeah, I don't think you can prove the Earth's entirety from a localized shadow. That seems a little absurd, but
Yeah, I mean, listen.
I was
listen.
willing to go down the road of the process.
Crow, okay, listen. Let's pretend you were Eratosthenes, and you'd put a stick in the ground and it had no shadow. And then you moved 500 miles the year later and put a stick in the ground to see what would happen, and you had an angle. Why would you not simply understand that that angle was there because of your change in location?
Yes, so if I didn't know what's the shape of the Earth, I would take a third measurement and see if the three lines intersect in one spot.
Why? What do you? No. So what I hear
take
you
100
doing.
measurements.
Wait, hold on though. My question is, why are you taking a third measurement?
If he didn't know the shape of the Earth.
Okay, no. Why would you take a third measurement?
To make sure if it's flat or not.
Why are you even asking that
Why
question?
Why are you even thinking what? Because the two measurements, you're measuring a flat
It's
ground.
just
You would
distance,
never
bro.
think you were on a ball.
Guys, Eratosthenes didn't come up with the ball. He was born knowing that or believing that it's a ball, and that's that his experiment is
Where's
based on
your
that.
proof for that, please? Where's your proof for that?
Go
No,
look it
our
up.
conversation should. No. I have, and all it is a story.
Yeah, you can't do that.
None of the 5 citations I have looked up have ever given me the backstory that you just gave me. Okay, so where did you get your information that he was raised since a bouncing baby boy on his mother's knee, since a wee little laddie?
Okay, you give me 5 minutes. Look it up if you don't want to.
All right.
And
Okay.
give us a date for that publication.
Not just a story, something researchable,
And hopefully,
verifiable.
right, yeah, not just some word salad story. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I think
Take
you
your
need to
time.
define
I would
that
like some
because
original Arabic writing, Persian
if I found
writing,
if I found something that says that people believe the Earth is a ball since 2000 BC, is that okay?
It should be in many different writings.
Okay,
right?
hold
Not
on.
just English.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Listen,
people, but you're talking about one person.
We're talking about one person somewhere in wherever he was.
Yeah, Crow, listen very carefully. People in Greece, right? I'm just going to make this up. People in Greece in 250 BC believed that the Earth was a sphere. Okay, that statement has to be based on fact. Where is the citation that is the universal? Right? Everybody understood this because you're lumping Eratosthenes into that when he's not referred to. That's a fallacy.
Since the time of dragons, they knew it was a globe.
Okay, so.
I have.
Just...
wait. I have a better solution.
Gandalf told him.
So let's assume that I am Eratosthenes. I was born, and people around me believed that the Earth is a ball. How about
my God! You okay? Listen to me. You
It's
have
okay.
the worst
So is that an appeal
argumentation
to
in the world.
consensus?
Let him go, Travis. Just I want to hear it out. So
You still have to prove.
I know, but I want to know where to research after Crow's done.
Oh my
So
God!
we can-
No. Give us the citation. The fact that you just said that makes me think like you can't find a citation that says that Eratosthenes was taught by Damocles, who was taught by Pericles, that the Earth. There's no citation for it, Crow.
It was taught by chimpanzees.
Well, I was just trying to come up with another Aziz word.
Who was
okay?
by
If you insist, give me 5 minutes. I'll look it. But
he's gonna go back through Darwinism, man. The chimps knew it.
It's just boring, and then I give you the citation, and then it goes to the wind.
No, listen. This is okay. This is not the way it goes. It's not a hand wave dismissal. When I looked up this whole stuff back at the beginning of my adventure into Flat Earth, I found 5 different citations from 5 different websites, and they all told the same story with no footnotes. I couldn't research anything they were saying to verify what they were saying. But they were all saying the same thing.
What's the same thing they were saying?
Just that Eratosthenes lived back in 250 BC, and one day he saw a well, or one day he saw a stick, or one day this, and they all just said the same thing.
Let me ask you, Travis.
So,
did you go to a
no
library
mention
to find this research, or did you go online? Which one?
I went to EDU sites, so yeah, I didn't go to the library.
So libraries don't quite exist anymore. So anything Crow brings us is obviously going to be from an online source, and we all know what happens there, right? Consolidation, collection, mainstream. That's it.
All I want is a citation.
Yeah. Send me to a library, Crow, where I can.
You said you found a citation, but they are not satisfactory for you.
No. Okay, look. I heard in a YouTube video Eratosthenes, blah blah blah. So I googled Eratosthenes, and I found EDU sites, right? Because I wanted to find something that had a little bit of a reputation. So I went to 5 different EDU sites, and they were all just generic information, Crow. There was nothing for me to check their information. They didn't give me an HTML hyperlink to go to this source or go to that source or look at this ancient document that was scanned into Google Books.
This is sourced out of the Library of Alexandria. Right?
Yeah.
So nothing like that.
Okay,
if a group of flat earthers made a university, built a university, and just started teaching what they believe, and we had 5 people say the same thing, would you just believe them because they're teaching it and it's in a book? Like that's what you're doing with the R value. You have no reason. Sorry, Cleary.
Look at the general chat. It's hilarious. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, Paige.
You have no reason to have that R value.
Maybe Crow can bring it.
If Travis looked this up, obviously he looked it up more than me. Let's accept what Travis is saying, that Eratosthenes just assumed that the Earth is a sphere. Okay, and then he spread
he was trying
this.
to prove it. He was trying to prove it, not assume it.
He was. Let's say he was trying to prove it.
Okay, so
and then people after him.
Idea was it's not a sphere, right? So he's gonna prove it.
Yeah, and people after him started believing that the Earth is a sphere.
Okay, but listen, do you realize
because of his assumptions?
Hold on. You have now just misdirected us away from your claim that he was taught this from a young boy.
Yeah,
you made that claim.
It's okay. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay,
but that's what
that's
I believe.
A great place to start.
Think. Yeah,
that's a great
I think
place
I've
to
seen.
Start.
Yeah, it's okay. When it comes to history, I'm not the best guy.
Okay, but the reality again, Crow, is if he's just taking degrees of measurements of shadows, that's no different than taking the degrees of measurements of the height of a mountain. What is going to change? Yeah, the only thing that's going to affect your angle is if you change your elevation or your location by distance. That's it. You don't need curvature ever.
Well, okay, so if I follow your line of thoughts, I would say then if you're right, then Eratosthenes was just an asshole. He didn't know what he was doing. I don't care.
There's no need to call him an asshole. I'm sure he's a great guy. My point is not to lose the argument in terms of our claim, right? Our claim is that you're just talking about distance and elevation, always and ever.
Travis, let's go this way. Okay, so Crow, today, if I were to go to Syene and put a stick in the ground and take a measurement and then go 500 miles away the next year, I don't have a timepiece. I don't have any way to measure time. I'm just looking at the observations of the stars, and I were to put a stick in the ground, and I come up with it's flat due to the local position of the light. Would you believe me? Would you believe me?
With 2 measurements only? No.
Why not?
Because you have to take 3 measurements.
Okay, so I'll take another one at 90 degrees, right? So
why do you need 3 measurements in this?
Just do it next year.
Because
Do you know the other assumption you've got though? The other assumption is that in a
2
year's
measurements
time,
cannot
you're
distinguish
assuming the
between a
sun's going to
flat
be in the
and a
same
sphere.
place.
Exactly, that's right.
Who says the sun's going to be in the same place in a year?
Exactly. So Eratosthenes
It's always
did
in the same
not
place every year.
repeat. Nobody repeated Eratosthenes'
Nobody knows where it is.
experiment, right? Nobody repeated.
I know where
All
it
we
is
have
every
this
year.
one story.
I can
We
calculate
don't
its
have
position
like
in the
a-
sky.
Right? We don't have like dudes just repeating it, going, you know what, Eratosthenes is right. You know, like 100 years later, just be like, we got to check this shit out. You know, verify it. We don't have that. We just have one fucking story. Right?
He didn't have any geometry either, really. Well, spherical geometry hadn't have been invented, and you know how these guys like to go to spherical geometry, right? That wasn't around for Eratosthenes. He didn't have
Where's
that.
the excess? Exactly. Where's the excess?
He didn't need it. I don't need it. The spherical geometry. I've never used it.
Why does everybody go to spherical geometry then, when posed with horizontal
Because
being
Crow
a straight
assumes
line?
it. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. He
I don't.
assumes it.
I don't know what's this issue of non-Euclidean. I don't know why this issue is brought up in this argument.
It's because
I see
it's
irrelevant.
because your model doesn't work with Euclidean geometry. You have a massive problem. If you've not found that out yet, then good luck.
You will find out soon.
Well, listen, Bev. On his own, without NASA, without studying, going to astronomy school, I built a whole complete sun calculator without knowing what's non-Euclidean geometry. So I know a lot of geometry.
The sun does what the sun does, right?
Yeah. Very
the
easy.
The fact that you don't need
very easy to predict.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's on a cycle, right?
Crow.
No,
Yeah,
I don't care
Crow,
about
just so you know
cycles.
that-
Cycles is recording and history. I calculate the
Cycles
declination angle of the sun. No, I don't take records.
Calm down.
You tell me the date. I tell you where the sun is going to be on which latitude.
What
It's very
instrument
easy.
are you telling us? Like a degree instrument, or how are you telling us where the sun's going to be? How are you doing that?
There's 2 ways. Either I do it with math or with just a physical globe model and a light source, and I can tell you where, or a camera.
You think
I
it's
can
some
tell
kind
you
of
where.
solid
which
source, don't you?
Nice.
What?
You think it's some kind of solid source, don't you?
Well, yeah. Have
Yes.
you taken into
Or-
all the
or-
effects of
But it's better to use a camera from the point of view of the sun.
What? A
camera.
camera
So
from
you
the
use a
point
camera?
of view of the sun?
Yes.
How would
And
you
you
know
tell me
what
where
the
it's gonna
point of
be?
view of the sun is to determine?
Okay.
Can you tell me what time it's going to raise over
alright.
my head here in Texas?
Yeah.
Can you
Okay.
do
So
that?
answering Bev's question, just I have to ask you something. Do you know the declination angle of the sun?
Do I know it?
Yes.
I would know how to measure. Would you? Is that what we're talking about? Measuring an angle?
No, not exactly. The declination angle of the sun is which latitude the sun is perpendicular to, and this is what I can produce with a physical model and a camera.
Sorry, the sun's perpendicular.
So
Yes.
let me ask Crow real quick, Bev. Did you take your photo measurements, like on a, from all up and down a certain latitude?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Everybody
No.
sees their own individual sun. It's not like a singular object.
Okay, so
Okay, so you stayed in one spot, right? Right, Bev?
Exactly. I
Or-
stay in
sorry.
one spot, and I rotate my globe model for
You are so
every
loud.
90 degrees. Oh, sorry. For every 90 degrees.
90
the-
degrees
turned
from
up, sorry.
where?
Wait, this
am I
was
too
not done
loud?
in real life?
No, yeah, you're good. I'm sorry. I had you turned up way too high.
Let me ask you this also, Crow. Did you have a computer with you nearby? I mean, were you inputting any data into a computer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so back to this declination angle of the sun. So in summer it's in 23 north and 23.5, and in winter minus 23.5. So I bring my globe model and I
Minus.
put it, yeah, south. I bring a globe model and put your camera to be in this at the same level of the equator, right? So the only way to do that is to have, you know, the tilt to be left to right, not towards you. Is that
Okay.
you're with me?
Sorry.
It's yeah,
No.
we can
The
comprehend
only
it.
way to
Now,
do that is to
did
do it
you
in real life.
Tilt.
It's just like a guy in Walmart who's staring at the lights on the ceiling and he's
Okay.
pretending like he knows what
Yeah,
shape
so
the
I'll
floor
try.
is. I don't know. It's just.
so Crow,
I'll try
Crow,
to
did you ever
hold
try
on.
to falsify it
Yeah.
by
Hold on.
using a flat
Hold on.
model? Did you ever
Don't
try that?
put that globe down, man. Nobody wants to look at that.
Yeah, that tiny little
You,
thing.
you see? Okay. So I don't put it like this. I don't put it like this. I put it like this, and then I adjust the elevation of the camera to be in the center. When it's in the center, it would be on the equator.
Where's your
After 3
falsification
months,
model? Show me your
after
flat Earth
3 months,
model
it will be
to falsify.
like, show it to me. It's not my job.
Well,
So
well then all
this
We
we're
don't
doing.
need replacement theology.
this
Is that
will
a
be
working
equinox.
model?
Yeah, it works a lot. So
Yeah,
after
but
3
so
months,
all you're doing is
this will be
confirming
the declination
math.
angle.
Is the camera to scale the distance?
After 1 month, you rotate it 30 degrees, and you see which latitude line are you looking at, and that's how you predict the reality.
That's not
Are
an
you
imaginary axis. It's a real axis.
Are you assuming
Are we on
parallel
a
pirates?
stand like that? Oh my god.
Well, I
Okay,
think
so
no one
wait,
is
hold on.
interested to
Okay,
understand.
so
I
okay,
like
so
your
Crow.
beard, Crow.
Hey, Crow. So I have a question. I'm driving, so I wasn't able to watch what you were doing, but I'm listening as carefully as I can. It seems to me that your only prediction would be in regards to your location. Is that correct?
No. I was
So
talking
okay, hold on.
the
Okay.
declination.
So let's just say, what was the location you were making predictions for the sun's declination? Where were you? Who were you making this prediction for?
The sun declination is where the sun is perpendicular to, where there's no shadow.
How the cuss do you know where the sun is perpendicular to?
He's
Language.
assuming parallel light rays. That's what he's
Yeah,
assuming.
I was going to ask that
Okay,
same
so
question.
let me ask you this question, Crow. Okay, just walk me through this because I'm
Ask a
actually
friend.
really I'm really interested in understanding this. If you are in Cairo and the sun is at 45 degrees in the sky, it's not perpendicular to you. So how do you figure out who's underneath the sun perpendicular?
Around
Yeah,
the Earth.
it's a little bit complicated. I've showed it on camera.
Did you ever
I can use
so, okay. So my question is, how did you verify that you were correct?
Yes, okay. When I joined the flat Earth, I saw flat earthers using something called time and date and sun calc, and that's what I used to confirm.
Okay, so a computer model. Yeah.
You joined Flat Earth?
Yeah.
Used by
I don't
flat
think you're on
earthers.
our team, bro.
Doesn't time and date use a flat? Doesn't time and date use a flat outlay?
Yep.
Okay, so so you held up that ball before, right? You said, "Look, here we got all the predictions." Now, couldn't I just hold up the time and date map that is a 180-degree horizontal plane and be like, "Look, we have predictions."
I don't understand what you mean exactly.
Okay, so how the entire model where you're like, I can show you where the sun will be here, the sun will be there. Can't you do that on the time and date flat outlay?
Time and date, it has a flat. Oh,
were you just
exactly.
trying
Go
to
check it out,
confirm?
bro. This is what I'm saying.
Check out.
You can't use a model of reality to prove reality because there is a flat outlay of all of this, and it's on timeanddate.com. It'll show you the eclipses. It'll show you sunrise, sunset, and it's 180 degrees flat. So this is why models are not good.
It's inaccurate. It's inaccurate projection. It's the wrong projection.
Not to mention, right the hand and Crow, that almanacs for over 1,000 years have already predicted this shit, right? It's already been written. Okay?
Wait, Crow, hold on. Did you just say that time and date is inaccurate?
Yes, accurate.
Okay, but wasn't that how you confirmed your prediction?
Yes.
So how the fuck did you confirm
You don't see a problem
your
with that?
prediction with something that's inaccurate?
What is inaccurate? I say it's time and date is good. It's accurate. No. Maybe I misspoke.
I thought you said inaccurate.
Oh no, of course not. It's accurate.
Okay, so then why can't we use that flat outlook as the
To do what
exactly?
To
base our reality on. What else? Like you base your reality off that ball.
Well, I was holding a piece of plastic in my ball to predict reality. Now, how can you do that with time and date?
It predicts it on a flat outlook. That's what I'm trying to say. Tell you, go to time and date. It will project the world into this flat 180-degree horizontal thing that you can look at. And on that thing, it will show you which you will say is accurate.
Mercator. Yeah.
Do we live on that thing?
Right, the hand. It shows a Mercator style freaking projection.
So is that what we live on?
Well,
are you saying that's what we live on Mercator?
Well, if someone brought a Mercator map and used it to predict the same prediction that I used, then okay, we'll live on a Mercator map.
They are. This is my point.
That's what he's saying.
This is my point.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I held a piece of plastic in my hand and predicted reality. Bring me a Mercator map in your hand and predict reality.
Did you double test? Did you do a double run on your predictability, Crow? Did you do a double test? Did you go somewhere else and do the same thing? Did you have anybody in the southern hemisphere to verify your declination? Anything like that?
Yeah, people from Australia, people from New Zealand, South Africa.
They held up a plastic globe and said, "Yeah, look, yep, that's right." I mean, what did they do? I mean, come on.
What's the question again? I'm lost.
So I want to know how you verify it.
It's all about verifying. Yeah, it's all about verification.
Verifying that the time and date is accurate.
How do you know it's a ball and not the Mercator? Is what they're asking, and which is what I'm asking.
Very, very good, right there, and yes.
Because the ball can predict, the Mercator cannot predict.
But didn't you just say time and date is accurate?
And
Yes,
using the Mercator, and using the
no,
Mercator.
it's not
on the Mercator.
It's not. It's not using the Mercator for the calculation. It just put the data on the Mercator.
The time and date is just data, okay? So it collects this. When you look at a model is nothing but a model. A model is data sets formalized, right, into something. Now I can give you data sets, and you can give me 10 different models. They'll all match the data set, right? But it's just which one. That's why they have concave Earth. You can take all of your ball data sets and just reverse them and make the Earth concave, and everything works out.
Exactly.
Well, that has to be proved first. But second, I think I get your point. You're saying that maybe the calculations of time and date are based on a flat Earth, and that's what
it's
we cannot.
presented.
Well, maybe
that way.
Yeah, maybe maybe reality is Mercator, and you can project the Mercator into a ball.
No, you cannot project a flat surface.
Why can't
on a
you
sphere.
do it? Why can't you do it? Because you don't.
Ask Bev. He knows more than me.
you don't have the ability to add this spherical excess, right? Unless you
It's
add
impossible.
this 0.03,
Well,
0.156, right?
Yeah, or if you take horizontal and level to be the same thing, then you'll have on top of the Mercator, right? And then now you don't have to worry about any of those bendy straight lines.
Yeah,
Well,
latitude, longitude.
Mercator in first place is a cylinder. It's not a rectangle.
Well,
I don't
no,
like
it is a
Mercator.
rectangle. I look at it as
Totally
a rect. So,
No,
and this is where
it's a projection of the cylinder, projection of a sphere on a cylinder, and then the cylinder is spread out.
That's one way to look at it. That's one way to view it. You can also view it as an infinite plane.
Yeah.
That you just walk. You can keep walking. So, and this is how I view the Mercator. You just keep going on. It's like a conveyor belt.
It's a
Pac-Man
model.
I could take the center point of that Mercator right there, which they call, the Arctic North Pole, and I could wrap it around itself and have a very, very good model of.
You could take the AE projection and wrap it around a globe.
Yeah, but I can't.
You
I
have
can't
to
bend
stretch
it
it
down
and
the
squeeze
other
it.
way, right? I can't bend it down the
The
other
same
way
thing.
to get the bottom part, right? How do I do that?
The AE projection is just a globe, right? Or is it?
Back to the same point. Use an AE map to predict reality, as I did. And then you have a go.
No.
Impossible.
It's your claim, Crow. You.
Yeah, this is my claim. Now show me your claim.
Okay, what's your claim?
My claim is the ball predicts reality.
How? Just give one.
I did a video. I did a video on how the Mercator map, and Cleary he was my inspiration. You go to this thing, right? You go to this time and date, and it will show you a rectangle that is the Earth. Okay, it has all of the places on Earth, and it puts them in this flat rectangle. Then it produces data points very accurately for eclipses, for sunrise, for sunsets, for the moon cycles, where you will see them from what points on this flat square. So if you're saying, show me a projection of a reality that works, and
right the hand. Why don't
then
they
there
use
is.
a globe? Why don't they use a globe kind of, maybe even a spinning, interactive, spinning globe to predict these eclipses and all this Coriolis and all this shit, right? Why do they have to
Maybe
use a
it
rectangle?
probably doesn't work.
Maybe it doesn't work.
They do. No, they do have. If specifically for the eclipses, they do have
the only interactive globe is called Google Earth. That's the only interactive globe.
No, you're wrong. Go to time and date and find eclipses. Eclipses.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't put it past them that they can turn the Mercator into a ball, and But here's the thing, and that's the whole. But this is the whole point. Like, if you have the ball